Hello again. This is Divine Warren,
And this is Ira Warren.
and together
We are
as one. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. We're back again with another show. Hopefully, you tuned into our first show. Tonight's show is basically going to be about trust. Who should you trust in? Who should you confide in? Should you let everybody know your every move? Should you share your secrets with just everyone, or anyone rather, or should you keep some of your info to yourself? What do you think, baby?
I think that's a real, serious question because when you're talking about trust, you're really going into loyalty and a whole lot of other aspects of trust. I'm going to say, with us in our relationship, if someone that knows both of us and they know certain things that, for instance, I'm gonna give this little testimony, if you will. I moved here a year and a half ago, and it was someone we both knew. This person knew that we were going through some struggles, and the first thing that this person said was, "I wouldn't even came here. I don't even think this is a good fit for you." Knowing that me and Divine was together, and of course, when you're in a relationship, like I said, it's a whole lot of different aspects of trust. You have to endure some things, of course. This person was like, "Well, you come from the suburbs and you live a certain type of way, and you a different kind of woman. If it was me, then I wouldn't I wouldn't have even came here, And I was thinking to myself, if you're such a good friend, to Divine, why would you say something like that, to me? And I was just like, I wasn't devastated because, my honey always, try to, keep me well script on things. He was like, you got to be careful. You got to watch what people say. You got to watch what people do. And be careful what you confide in a person. Well, needless to say, this person, already knew some aspects of our relationship. She knew when I came, and when I first came to visit, Divine and everything like that. So even recently, she was like, "Well, he needs to do this and he needs to do that," But I didn't confide in her about anything. She just knew, just by the conversations that her and Divine have. So it's real fickle when you good friends with someone and then you come into the picture of me being his wife. It makes it kind of hard, because it's almost like they trying to destroy what you have with your husband undercover. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm very, very careful who I confide in and who I tell, things to. And it's not too many people. I would say one person I really share some things with, and she's like my mentor, my Auntie Hazel. I can share some things with her, and she's not going to belittle my relationship, and she's not going to tell me, "Well, girl, if I was you," because there's always the punch, when you tell somebody something, "Well, if I was you, I wouldn't do X, Y, and Z." So a lot of people, they're quick to talk rather than listen, when it comes to, things that you may be going through or someone else may be going through.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, there's been times when I have told people, different things, and it seemed like they took what I had said to them and they kind of used it as ammunition, to attack me. I think in order for you to start telling people stuff, you have to really be honest with yourself. Is this somebody that you really feel that if you tell certain stuff to, that they can keep it in? Mm-hmm. Like Babes was saying, somebody was telling her that she shouldn't have came here, she shouldn't have did this and that. But the funny thing is, a lot of people, when they see what you have and then they see that it's good and it's something that they don't have, it's like they try to tear it down. They try to condemn it. Mm-hmm. What they try to do is point out the weak spots, mm-hmm. In your relationship, to kind of make your foundation a little shaky. So sometimes you have to sit back and ask yourself, well, why is this person saying this to me? Or why is this person asking me this and that about my relationship? especially like when females they start talking about different things like sex and stuff. Uh, if a female was to come ask another female, well, what's going on in your bedroom? Or do you all do X, Y, and Z? Or how big is he? You might want to start taking a good look at the individual that you're talking to. I think the best thing is to not put yourself in a compromising situation. If you feel as though what you're about to tell the person is something that could be detrimental to you, second guess whether or not you should tell the person. Do you feel confident that this person will not spread rumors about you? Do you feel confident that what you're telling the individual, they'll give you some positive feedback? You don't want to just tell somebody just anything and then everything they tell you is something negative, and that's part of the process of trusting. When you give them this information, you don't want them to like turn into a turncoat and try to use it against you whenever you're down. Like I said before, there's a lot of people, if they see that you have something good and they don't have it, they start to come back with that crab in the barrel mentality. And then they try to pull you down because they're feeling less than because they haven't achieved what they thought you achieved, or they see that you're achieving in your relationship, or they may not even have a relationship, or the person that they're dealing with, they might be full of shit.
Right.
Telling them lies and, just basically telling them what they want to hear and not living it through. So, trust is definitely something that, especially in a relationship, you have to have trust in your relationship. But we're just talking about trust overall. But trust in your relationship, you want to come home to somebody that you know that has your back.
Right.
You want to come home to somebody that you know is going to spread love and share love with you just the same way that you would spread and share your love with them. You want to be around an individual that you can feel the love, you can feel the compassion, you could feel that good, them good feelings inside. You could just look at the individual and you be like, oh damn, I look at baby, I'm like, oh baby, that's my baby. Then when she smiles, it brightens my day. You know what I mean? And all of that ties into trust, even though people don't think it does. Because in order to open yourself up to somebody, you have to trust them. You know what I mean? A lot of people open themselves up to particular people and the trust or the bond isn't there. And then they sit back and they wonder why those particular people, use whatever they said or tried to manipulate a situation, based on what they said. There's a lot of people that hold you hostage by what you tell them, by the information you give them, and try to manipulate situations and use it to their advantage and use it to your disadvantage. So, watch out for that.
And it's so true, because I was sitting up here as Babe was talking about trust. Think about those two middle words in trust. It's about us, so when you start, thinking it's about you, you could just take the S off for a minute. Trust really starts with the individual. It starts with you. So you want to make sure that you don't have any undercover stuff. It could just be, I'm just talking about as an individual. My grandmother used to say something when we were kids. She said, I'm going to tell it before you tell it. And I used to laugh.
Say that too.
I used to laugh so hard. I'm like, what's she going to tell? And she was like, she said, because, she said, women folks, they'll take just one little crumb or something, and they'll take it and run, and girl, before you know it, they can feed a whole nation with that one crumb of information. And I used to laugh so hard. And she would tell me, with being a trustworthy person, I mean, like I said, we could take this word trust and stretch it. It goes into integrity, as well. So I knew when I first met, Divine, he was the one that kind of just helped me to say, it's okay to be you. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. And in that means be honest, be truthful, don't hide anything, because I mean, I know you don't want to put your trust in a human being, but you have to put your trust in somebody, So it's going to be kind of impossible. It's like if you go to work, your boss is going to trust that you're going to, fulfill the task that needs to be done at the job. It's the same way in marriage. It's a partnership. It's a relationship on your job. It's the same way in a marriage. And you have to be honest with yourself, because I had some issues that came up, where it was a guy that I had met through a mutual friend when I first moved here. And he was in my DM or whatever, and we was going back and forth, just saying, hey, what's up? And I was asking him, about some t-shirts and stuff that I wanted to do. And then before you know it, it turned into something else. And in my eyes, I thought, okay, it ain't nothing, because I had sent like emoji thing, and it says, he said, all right, friend. And I said, all right, you amazing, or something like that. So when my husband saw that, he was like, how the hell are you going to tell another man he's amazing? And I didn't mean it like that. It wasn't my intention to say that he was just the best thing or he was the most amazing thing in the world. It wasn't like that. But, I'm learning as I go, like babe always tell me, men don't look at things that way. As well as if you've been in hurtful relationships and you had trust issues before you got into this new relationship, women, we have this thing where he's just my friend. He's not gonna come in between you and me, babe. I love you. But something go wrong with you and your spouse or boyfriend or whatever, and then you talk to this so-called guy friend on the phone and you tell him what's going on. He was like, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna always be here for you. And so, you got this other dude in your ear telling you stuff that he shouldn't even be saying to you. What he should be saying is, you know what, I pray for you. I hope all is well and it work out, But they're not going to say that. They're going to tell you, oh, I love you. I care about you. So then the trust between you and your boyfriend or your husband, it's all lost, because you got this sidekick that you running and confiding in. So there's really no trust. There's no foundation with you and the person that you're with. So again, let's go back to the two, middle words in trust is us. And my husband always, since before we even said I do and put rings on each other's fingers, he said it's not I or me or you anymore. It's us. It's about we. So in that, we have to trust each other. We have to be able to come to each other during a frustrating day, good days, bad days, and say, look, I'm just not feeling X, Y, and Z. I'm not feeling this way, and he'll trust that I am being honest with him and I'm telling him exactly how I feel, So yes, trust is a big thing. So when you ask people about relationships and different things like that, they say, well, what's the top 5 things, you want in a relationship? Most women is going to say, I want to be able to trust him. Because why? Most women have been hurt. They've been in relationships where, the trust wasn't there. You checking his phone. He got lipstick on his shirt. He got a condom in his pocket. He got some chick calling him. He saying, oh, that's just my homie. Oh, and you like, how is that just your homie? You just met her. You didn't tell me about it. So you got this whole neck rolling attitude, going on. And then the trust in the whole relationship is not a relationship. It's a ship that has been sank. Let's just say it like that.
Or sink in.
It'll sink in.
To kind of tie that in what Baby said, to y'all, one of my best friends is a female. One of my besties is a female. Her name is Kia. And when Babes first came up here to see me, the very first time she came up here to see me, I wanted to let her know that it wasn't nothing going on between me and my friend who happens to be a female. A lot of people can't be in like friendships with a person without sex coming, somewhere along the line. Now, me and my particular best friend, we never had sex. We didn't go that direction, and we've been friends for 10 plus years, and it's never went that way. So when she first came up here, the very first time she came up there, we went over there, went to her house, was shooting pool, we hanging around her, because I just wanted her to see that it wasn't nothing there. Not that she did think anything like that, but I just wanted her to know that it was friendship. Even if you could vibe, you could feel a vibe when you're around somebody, you'll know if there's something going on. And she was comfortable. My friend made her feel comfortable. We was joking, we ate, everything was cool. And so she knows that that's just my friend. But let me tap into another thing that Babe said. Now, social media and all that, that plays a big part in what people do nowadays. But I always have to tell babes that just because you see something a particular way doesn't mean that the individual that you're talking to sees it that same particular way.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, a lot of men, they come at women online. You know, it could be people you know, people you don't know, people from your past, etc. But what they'll do is a lot of them will come at you if they trying to play, game you. They'll come at you on the friendship tip, especially if they see that you're in a relationship with somebody. And the reason why they do that is because they want to kind of throw the woman off and make them feel comfortable with them. So some men, instead of just coming out right and be like, "Hey babe, what's up? Hey, oh, I ain't see you in a long time. Yeah, we could get together and all that." They don't do that because they look at your page and then they notice that your status says that you're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then from that, if it's a dude that's really trying to play, he'll be like, okay, well, I know she's in a relationship, so I'm not going to come at her directly like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to befriend her in the hopes that something will go wrong in the relationship, and then I'll have my chance to step in.
Right.
And I know a lot of dudes going to be like, damn, Divine, why you telling the game? But it's the game. This is just basic game. It goes a lot further than this. But I'm just keeping it really basic, So then they'll befriend you, hit you up on your page. Some dudes won't even hit you that much. They'll hit you maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, checking, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you been? And then the woman, their natural instinct is like, hey, I'm fine, blah, 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 especially if they think that they're just cool with the man. But they don't even know that the man is setting all of this up. He's putting things in play that you don't even see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, men and women, we see stuff totally different. So now he's setting things up. So then a lot of women that I know, I'm talking from experience, I'm not just talking. A lot of women I know, they'll start divulging some of their info with these particular individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them they may have been cool with, like I said, from back in the day. Some of them are new people, so they don't really know too much about them. Even the people that from back in the days, you might have seen these people 10 plus years. So you don't really know where their mind is at this particular time. So what'll happen, they start divulging info. So now when they're divulging the info, the dude will sit back and then he's like taking an inventory of everything you say. Oh yeah, dude ain't doing this. Dude ain't doing that. Or husband ain't, oh word. Oh, he's staying out. He working too much. So now he's putting all this, down in his mind. And then what he does, when you start talking more and more about the stuff that's going bad, then now he starts to interject little by little. Damn, if it was me, I wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would provide for you. He should be doing this for you. And then they come at you that way, kind of like they're trying to help you. But in actuality, what they're actually trying to do is divert you from actually thinking about your husband or your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. Mm-hmm. They're trying to divert you from that, and they're trying to get you more and more on their side. So then let's say something major comes down the line. They've been telling you, yeah, I'm always in your corner. I'm the one here for you. I'll do this for you. And then the woman or man, then they'll start saying, well, damn, my people ain't doing this. So maybe I need to check what they saying. Is it true? And then that's how you get pulled along the line of something that you really didn't want to do. And you wake up one day talking about to yourself, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
So that all ties into trust, because now when you become aware of certain things, you can't go back to not knowing. So when I pull babes up and I kind of explain certain scenarios to in certain situations, when this comes along and people try to do this, men or women, because there's a lot of women come at women too, they try to come at you with these different scenarios, you already know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take everything for face value. Just because you're doing something and you're doing it for the right reason doesn't mean that everybody else is going to come at you and do stuff for the right reason. People manipulate situations and will use the info that you give them to make them manipulate you and put themselves in a better, predicament or a better situation. Mm-hmm. And what I mean is that they'll use the information about your husband or wife, they'll flip it in such a way that it looks like they're helping you, but they're just actually just flipping the information you gave them so that they could get you, so they could get some ass or get whatever they want to get from you. And that all ties into trust. You have to beware who you tell certain things to and who you interact with, because everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, and all that's the good ABCs to trust. And another thing I wanted to touch on too, if you're you and your spouse is having, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, however you, whatever, however your relationship is set up. If you have an issue, please don't leave or go to bed with unresolved issues. I say that because I'm just speaking from experience. Um, I was in a so-called relationship prior to, being married to my husband now. Um, and we had so much stuff going on. I knew it wasn't, nothing, but we had so much stuff. He would go to work. This guy would go to work and he would tell people, "Oh, Ira's doing this and Ira's doing that. Ira's doing this." And then they would come to me like they was my parents. Like, who are you? Who are you talking to? Like they was trying to chastise me or something. And so when people know that you got stuff going on in your relationship, man, they take full blown advantage of that. And they want to keep tearing it down, tearing it down, tearing it down. And women, we applaud stuff. I'm not saying I do it. But when stuff ain't going right and is falling apart, they be like, "See, I knew it." Mm-hmm. All they had to do was, but you and the person that you're with, you gotta get that foundation. You have to. Because really and truly, I'm not really one to run and tell people my business. I'm really not. But the thing is, I got to keep it real with this one right here. This is my priority right here. Okay. So
keep it real,
I'm not I'm not really, concerned, about, not as far as on my job. I'm gonna tell you this. This is something that happened on my job that I'm working at. I can't disclose the name, but something happened on the job. I admit to the thing that happened on the job, and the manager, I guess she thought I was going to lie about it. I mean, I could have lied about it because it was my word against the person who ratted on me and said, "Yeah, Ira, she was in the room, blah, blah, blah." And so when my manager came to me about the issue, I was like, "Well, yeah, it did happen. I was doing X, Y, and Z." And then before you know it, all the other stuff, my integrity, my work ethic, everything was being torn down right behind it. They was like, "Well, she's not a team player, and she's not this, and she's not that." And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna fix that. High and by. I'm gonna do my job, fix what I did wrong, and my thing with you is going to be high and by." Now, this is the crazy thing. When I started changing, people knew that, so we had this meeting. And this lady, one of my coworkers, the first thing she started off, "Well, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but Ira, she just stopped talking to me, and she just stopped this." And I let her know flat out why. You have to be aware of people that even at work, you have to be aware of those people and stuff like that. And I told her why. I would say, just like when you send your children to school, you send them to school to learn. I come here to work. So I was just like, if we don't ever be friends and kick it and go to IHOP and share a pancake, I'm cool with that. I don't need to have a bunch of friends in any way. I don't have a bunch of friends anyway. And the ones that I do have, I could call them right now and they know me and I know them to an extent, because one day we'll get into this. I know you because I don't know myself from time to time. So I'm learning to even trust my own self, So that's important to me, to trust that Ira is going to be good to Ira, because I got to be good. If I'm good to me, I'm going to be good to him. If I'm truthful with myself, I'm going to be truthful to him. So all of those things are important. And I just, my prayer is that everybody get this trust issue thing, because we have trust in America. Everybody say this great America that we live in, and it's been a lot of things with that. So I ain't gonna go into politics, but trust is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, integrity, trust. Who should you divulge stuff to? Think of it this way: how much do you actually trust yourself?
Yeah.
So should you trust somebody else more than you actually trust yourself, based on what you would do? Mm-hmm. That's something that you could kind of keep in mind. Trust is a lot more than just thinking that you could tell somebody stuff. You got to actually know who you're talking to, especially nowadays, because information is really important. Like I said, people will use exactly what you said. They'll use it and come and attack you with your own information, like as if it was a weapon. And it may sound crazy, but like I said, just be honest with yourself. You know, just make sure that you watch the individuals that you're around. You know, because actions is the best indication of what a person might do, unless they do something different.
Yeah.
That's the best indicator of letting you know how a person may react, what they may do, you know, what they may not do. And another thing, you know, honestly, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with your significant other. Be honest with your partner. Because at the end of the day, if you're not honest with them, and then negative stuff start popping up one thing after another, then that could dissolve your relationship. You know what I mean? Now the trust factor is gone. That wow that used to be there before, now all of a sudden, you know, the light is dim. You come home, sometime they may speak, sometime they may not. Sometimes you might get a kiss, sometimes you may not. You know, because the dynamic has changed based on the fact that now they feel like they can't trust
You don't
you.
want them dynamics to change.
Yeah, like something is missing. You know, you don't want your partner to come home and then they feel like they don't want to be there. And it's not based on what they've done, it's based on what you've done. You know, so keep it honest.
Keep it real.
Watch who you talk to. And I would say don't put no more trust in man than you would put in yourself.
Amen.
All right.
That.
And this is another episode. Hopefully somebody will get something out of what we said. You know, our job is to at least reach one person. You know, this is only our second show. You know, we're still working out the little kinks. You know, we got our vibe down. That's natural. But still, sometimes when you talk on camera, it's a little different than if you're just talking to your significant other off camera. So, you know, we're going to keep giving it to you. We're going to keep coming up with different topics. I'm going to make some topics up. Babe's going to pick some topics. And we're going to do it together as one. Peace.
Peace.